I'll share real quick while you talk, Kevin. Mitchell.
And we are officially live. Another episode of Shut Up and Invest. We got a special guest in the house. We're going to be talking about an event that our very own Jay Money will be on stage. Well, I think we're going virtual with this event, right?
Yeah, we're going virtual, no stage, not yet.
Virtual. Well, you might stand on a phone book. We don't call that a stage. And we got
It's gonna be virtual.
we got a special event. We're going to talk about that for you guys to learn a whole lot of the game. And we have the organizer, the host, the productivity focused guru herself, Miss Kirsten Franklin. How you doing?
Hey, good. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. I'm tired.
You're tired. You will sleep when you are dead.
Just got off an airplane, man, but I'm good. I'm here.
Miss Kirsten, why don't we start off right from the beginning, letting everybody know about this special event that you have put together and what they're going to get out of it?
Yeah, I'm really excited. Obviously I invest. I also go to a lot of events. In fact, that's how Jury and I met at Shanika's event, right? The Livewire event out in Miami. And I love Shanika's event. In fact, some of it's kind of stolen from her in the sense of she finally had an event where people got on stage and didn't sell. And it was one of the first times that I had seen that. And I was like, yes, finally. The things that I hate about events, I was able to sort of cure in this event. So one of the things I always think lacking in real estate events, and this is just because I'm a business builder, is there's never talk about the damn business, right? It's like everyone's always talking, oh, do this thing, do this thing, do this thing. You're going to take this step, you're going to do that, which is all good. It's all true. It's all correct. But I've worked with over 400 real estate investors, helping them build their business. And every single time, invariably, they have no basic business structure. Real estate's one of those things, right? It's a do kind of thing. Like when you get out there and do, it happens and you make money. And so you get addicted to the making money and then you fail at the business side. And then all of a sudden you're kind of making money, losing money, making money, losing money. The structure's not there. Then you have to dial it all back, which makes you sad because now you're used to spending this amount of money on yourself and your family and your things. Now you have to cut that back to kind of rebuild from the beginning. So one of the things I really wanted to do is have people that understand business building. So we have people like Damon John coming on, right? I mean, you don't get better than a $6 billion dude, right? We have David Meltzer, who consistently makes $500 million companies. If you don't know who that is, Google him. If you've seen the movie Jerry Maguire, he was the CEO of that sports agency at the time. So that kind of movie revolves around him and his players. So,
Show me the money.
That's right. But so I did that on purpose as well. And I also kind of purposely added the types of things you're going to need to know so that you can get them. So yes, Jury's going to be speaking on like creative finance, term deals, be your own bank kind of thing. We have a lot of people talking about virtual methods. We have some people kind of overlapping and talking about the same thing, but doing it differently. But you're also going to get things like Stephen Neville coming on, talking about data, the importance, where it's coming from, all of that stuff. And sick, he's giving away 1,000 free leads, and not just like canned leads, like, oh, you're in Florida, click a button, there's your 1,000 leads. No, he's forcing you to call his company, tell him exactly what you're doing, exactly where you're doing it, what it is you're looking for, and he's sending you 1,000 curated leads. That's like hundreds of dollars. So like you've already made your money back by buying this ticket and showing up. It's ridiculous, right? And then the other thing I added was actually a third day. Jacob, my business partner, probably wants to kill me, but I added a third day for free because I want people to really get focused, right? And we'll talk about that in a minute. But when you leave these events, what everyone is an expert there. They know what they're doing, and you're learning all this information, and you're all jazzed, and you're all excited, and you feel pumped. You're gonna be like the next millionaire, right? And then you get home, and you're like, yeah, oh shit, what am I doing? Right? Like, what's my first? Well, do I do that thing first? Do I do that? Oh, well, these 3 things have this in common. Do I just do that and then decide? Like, you get kind of like, what's up? Like, I'm a business plan. I didn't really figure it out, right? So that's the day we're going to take to break apart your mindset, build out your basic structure. If you already have a business, you'll probably end up sitting with me. I'll rip it apart real fast, talk about your systems, talk about your plan, talk about your marketing, all of that shit really, really fast, and get it all done in a day so that at least you have your first 3 to 5 steps so you're making, progress. So really, I'm really excited. We have people covering, sales talks, right? How to talk to these people. So you get 1,000 free leads. But what do you do with them? What do you say to them, right? That's the biggest thing that freaks people out. Do I email them? Do I like send them a postcard? Do I pick up the phone and call them, which would be my recommendation? But that's freaky for people, like public speaking, right? It's like super scary. So we have somebody there to cover that as well. So I'm trying to cover all the bases that I saw as being big hurdles for people that have either just started out or seem to be like sort of starting and stalling, right? So.
And when's this event?
This event is this weekend, and it's actually live too. So you guys get to ask your questions of the speakers. The speakers are gracious enough to show up, which is highly unusual in a virtual summit, to show up live, give it to you live, and answer questions as well. But it's this weekend. It's Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Got it. And I'll drop the link in the comments if anyone has any interest in buying some tickets to that event. You can see them in the comments. Also go to our Facebook group. We have the ticket link up there too. You guys can buy the tickets for the virtual tour.
Beautiful. All right. So we got people looking forward to everything we're covering today. And that actually leads to, let's preview some of the advantages that people are going to be getting this weekend. I love what you say. That's part of what I am always focusing on: systems, processes, running things efficient, being able to scale, and more importantly, not just running that roller coaster of getting a deal, closing a deal, pipeline's empty again. Getting a deal, closing a deal, pipeline's empty again. Where my February was amazing and I made, a crazy amount of money that people might not make in a year, but then my next 2 months, I didn't make anything. So then what good is making 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 1 month if then I got to divide it by all the months that no revenue came in? And then what did I really make that month? I didn't really make 30 grand that month. I maybe only made 10 grand that month because for the next 3 months, I put a goose egg on the board. And that I feel is because focus, productivity, systems are non-existent half the time in this game.
Yeah. You know what else is a big sort of mental thing is people don't get the idea of slowing down to speed up. And, Damon and I talk about this all the time. We'll probably talk about it this weekend too. It's building the thing out first, doing the research, knowing what the hell you're talking about and doing, and understanding how it applies in your universe and setting out that path. That takes time. That takes thought. That takes dedication. Nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to just run it, like that's what we do, right? We hustle. So we're used to just hitting the ground running, just go, go, go. Something's going to happen. It's okay. Stop. There's a better way. If you slow down, you can actually speed up and do more. But it's painful when you really just want to get the money, when you really just need the money, right? When you really just have to have the thing. It's really effing difficult to stop yourself and be like, okay, I'm going to write the plan. Okay, I'm going to follow this plan. Okay, I know that it's going to take me 2 to 3 months to get this down and fluid. But if I do that, then I know that every month thereafter, I'm set. Now it's just about how many people's house do I go to? How many people do I have to sign contracts to? Right? It doesn't actually take that long. 2 months. If you stop, you're done in 2 months. You have a system that can run itself in 2 months. I promise you. I do this all the time.
No, that's so key because, you get stuck when you're going so fast and you'll see that, especially if it's kind of maybe you or a small team, you yourself become like the clog into the pipeline, right? So like you hustle real hard for a month, you make 40 grand, you take a break, I'm gonna take a break for a week or 2 weeks and then everything stops. The whole machine, you end up in that part what Kevin said where the machine stopped for 2 weeks, you're catching up the next 2 weeks and then you miss the whole month of income, So that is true. Take a month or two, kind of get your systems dialed in, and then you'll have that constant flow that comes in.
Yep.
Now, easy to say, right? Because I already know a couple people that I work with directly that we talk about this all the time. We talk about setting up the funnels and the systems and automations, and we talk about spending some time with your VAs and your team, whether they're in-house or out, to be able to get them to the level that you want. But then every morning they wake up and their emails are going off, and then a lead comes in, and then the potential of the revenue, at the fingertips, chases them to attend to that and be reactive. But then guess what? I reschedule the team meeting. I reschedule sitting down and doing my CRM funnel that I've been planning for the last 3 months and I haven't gotten to. So practical, like the information of how to basically like control that temptation. I mean, what is it? Am I looking at it correctly? Is it a matter of perspective? Is it a matter of time management? What are we really trying to figure out here?
So actually, it's all of it. First of all, and you guys, I'm sure, have heard this a lot, you have to become the person that has total control. You have to believe that you're in control of your time, which you actually are. You are negotiating every second of every day with yourself. Do you eat that cake or don't you? Negotiation. Do you get up and out of bed right now and work out? Negotiation. Do you get up out of bed and make the coffee or no coffee because you're trying to kill caffeine, right? Everything you do is a negotiation. And all of these little micro negotiations turn into your habits. So, like I said, painful, dude. I've been through this. And I finally figured out a sort of method that I use with my people in my Life by Design class because we're flipping their whole lives. So, you know, people talk about how difficult it is to lose weight or this or that. It's actually not. Stop the bullshit. Stop the bullshit, okay? You can kill a chemical addiction in your body within 72 hours, all right? So I don't care if you're an alcoholic, I don't care what you're doing. Obviously, there's certain other types of drugs or medication that might take longer because now you're actually creating a type of depression or thing in your body by not having the thing, right? If you do cocaine every day for breakfast for morning, you know, no, you're not going to be like chipper, you know, and happy, awesome 3 days later. No, you're going to have a moment because your brain is so chemically addicted to that thing that you're going to have to, you know, rewire and do different things. But for something simple, like I remember, now that COVID happened, no, I'm like a fat ass again. But I remember, like just last year, you guys saw me last year. That was my moment where I was like, damn, I looked okay dressed, but I didn't look cute undressed. And ladies, you know what I'm talking about. Men, don't act like you don't either. Like, you know what I'm talking about. You get to that place. So I said to myself, all right, that's this, man. I'm an athlete. I was a competitive cheerleader, a competitive equestrian. I was a lifeguard. I was like, I'm an athlete. I got this. Okay, after 10 years of not working out, right? My daughter's now 11, so it's 10 years that I did not work out, did not lift a finger. And I couldn't figure it out. Like I was like, wait, I do this. I make people do. What am I doing? I had to like kind of coach myself. And it came back to a mindset thing. And it's really weird how these things creep in. But all of my girlfriends were like, look at this fucking bitch. Like she gets to eat all, like I would sit there and eat Auntie Annie's hot dogs, you know, like the pretzel dogs. And like they'd be like, how do you have to eat that? And we're all yogis and running around and we don't look like that. So there was a part of that mentality that seeped in, like, oh, that's right, I don't have to, I still look cute, right? Like there was kind of part of that. And I realized like I had to reframe that, sort of purpose my mentality, right? So I had to say like, oh, I mean, this is sound so funny, I'm gonna say this in public. Like I'm a hot, sexy athlete mama bitch, right? Like that I kill it. That's the thing that actually got me out of bed. I did all the things I was supposed to do. The micro habits, sleep in your clothes, have your shoes, right? It got to the point, and I don't know who knows it, I live in Manhattan. I would get dressed to work out, walk out the door, and go to the deli guys downstairs and grab a cup of coffee and come home and not run. I live on top of Central Park. Like the park is my backyard. So for me to not run at like 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm up anyway. It was so super weird. And then I realized what I allowed to happen is my entire mental picture changed. And I didn't want to work out because, if I had to work out, then I'm like you and I have to work for it. And I didn't want to because for 10 years they were saying that to me, right? So I had to flip that script. So there's that mental aspect, that mindset aspect. And then there's just the doing of it. Remember, your brain, your neural pathways have been built. So depending on how long you've been doing a certain thing, avoiding a certain thing, you know, even when you start and stop and fail, that actually becomes a neural pathway in your brain. So if you think of like tiny little skinny tree branches that just grow and get fatter and fatter and fatter, that's your neural pathway. And it literally looks like that. So I've worked with a scientist who showed me the brain as we think, as we're speaking right now. It is the craziest, weirdest, coolest thing ever. As we're speaking right now, hearing new information, our brains are lighting up and creating these little tiny, skinny, weird tree branch looking things. And if we keep at it, there's a little protein on the end that develops. And then that protein changes over time as it becomes a habit. So think about tying your shoe, right? When you're 5, you get pissed, you can't do it, it's so hard, you wing your shoe at your mom, you're like, this is stupid, get me some Velcro sneakers, right? And then all of a sudden, you're like in high school, you don't even think about it, it's done. That's your habit being built. So your habits are good, and I wouldn't say bad, but maybe don't get you to your end result. So just be aware of them. What are you doing and what can you change? And a neuroscientist who's on my podcast this week was actually talking about the physical aspect of a habit. So like, let's say you're trying to stop drinking alcohol or coffee or something, right? There's an actual micro physical movement that you might not be aware of that you do. And if you can acknowledge that and stop it, you actually can change the habit. It's pretty cool. So like if you're stressed and you grab a glass, that might be the micro habit. Go for the glass, regardless of what's in it, right? Maybe you still go for the glass and now you pour water, but maybe you stop. Think about the fact that I just grabbed for the refrigerator handle or the glass or the thing, that little tiny micro, a facial expression you make, right? Your wife is pissing you off, your girlfriend's pissing you off, your boyfriend, your husband. You make the thing. There's a facial expression you make before you feel the emotion and start slamming on them. There's a tiny little movement. So if you can catch those tiny little movements and just pause before you continue, you can actually break some of those habits as well. And then it's just knowledge, right? Learning what is the habit you want to replace it with? What is the action you're trying to engage in? And how do you make that as simple as possible to just hit, you know? So that kind of stuff.
So what's the key? I mean, for someone who's, looking to break that micro habit you said, what's the key to someone to say, hey, these are some steps to take, to fight that habit of reaching for the cup, reaching for the refrigerator, or not getting up to go run,
Right. So for that, it's just noticing it. It's just paying conscious attention to it. All of our habits were developed mostly subconsciously. Think about it. When you wake up, do you sleep on the left or the right side of the bed? How did that develop? How do you get out of bed? How did that develop? Do you brush your teeth first? Do you grab? That's all a habit that you've developed subconsciously, and now it's
there.
Exactly. And that's what the physical breaking of that grabbing for the refrigerator door, it's interrupting that muscle memory, which is actually a neural pathway in your brain. So it's pretty interesting stuff. I mean, for me, I'm like a total science loser. I can geek out. But here's some stuff that you guys can do that actually makes business easier, right? Whatever your process is. So if you're talking about real estate, if you're talking about your business, if you're talking about your life, I'm going to give you the first 3 steps that I use in my high productivity courses with my executives, okay? And the first thing to do is actually brain dump everything. Brain dump every single freaking idea you've had in the past year or two onto several pieces of paper, right? It usually takes about a notebook. And if you're taking this seriously, it's not happening in an hour. It's probably happening over 2 days, okay? And like solid sitting there trying to think of everything. You wanted to hang that picture. You wanted to take the kids to Disney. You wanted to do this. You wanted to do that. Every single thing that clouded your brain ever in the past year, maybe 2, write it down. Then take that and pick 5 things, okay? And when I say pick 5 things that probably take about 3 to 6 months or longer to complete. So if you're redecorating a bedroom, if you're doing something in business like strategizing and marketing and pivoting, right? Take these things and figure them out. And take 5 of them. And now brain dump again in those 5 things only. Everything that you think you need to do in order to make that happen, right? So let's just take your office. You're turning a room into your office. It's a mess. It's got boxes. There's not even a desk in there. So you're writing it all down. Okay, you need a desk. You need bookshelves. You need a computer. You need a dedicated phone, some like podcast equipment. Write it all down. And then what's the first thing you're going to do? So just figure that out. What's the priority of how you want this room to go? Okay, so you want to take the books out of the boxes and put them on shelves, right? So, okay, I'm going to get bookshelves first because this way, in my mind, if I get the books out of the boxes, put them away, I'll have room to walk around and fix the rest of it, right? That's your logic. All right, so you have to buy the shelves. Sounds like your first step? Not your first step. I want you to sit there and imagine, that you went out to Home Depot and you found the shelves that you like, the design, the style, and you're going to go buy them. What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to try and figure out if they fit in the space, right? You're going to be like, oh, shit, I don't have the measurements. Now I got to drive all the way home, get the measurements. Or you would be like me, you just bring it home, try it, and if it doesn't fit, bring it back. But, to make life easy, okay, you need to measure the space, right? Well, what does that actually take? You probably need a tape measure. So you want to break down your steps in things that probably take 10 minutes or less. So find a tape measure, measure the space, shop online for things you like, find out where they're located, right? So break them all down into 10 to 15 minute things and list them out. And as you have these 5 columns of lists in order, what happens is, like those moments where like, you really don't feel like doing anything and it's not enough time to Netflix and chill. There's like, maybe you'll Insta for a little bit. Well, you can actually look at this list and be like, oh, fuck it. I'll just grab the tape measure and measure the space, right? Like, and all of a sudden you'll notice that by the end of the week, you've knocked out like a third of your project in 5 different projects, So you pretty much can get all your projects done really quickly. I mean, this is how I write fiction books, nonfiction books, put on events like this, that when we start a company, we're doing it all ourselves, right? We might have a couple of VAs and like an ad team and all that stuff, but the majority of it we're doing ourselves, right? And he has his own businesses. I have my own business. He has 2 kids. I have a kid. We're all in COVID here. So, like, that's the way we have to knock it out. And it just makes it super, super simple to get little dumb things done. And they should be really small and dumb. Like, it should be so dumb that you feel like you're not doing anything. That's the point. Get it done.
Got it, like that.
A couple of things that I'm thinking about based off the last couple of stories you told. One of them is going back to the earlier where you felt you didn't need to work out because you, for years, never had to, and that's what was being programmed in your head. Do you think that every time we close a deal in the game that we're in, we kind of use that to say, well, I didn't really need to do that funnel that I have on my to-do list, because look, I just brought in revenue, I just brought a deal, and that's kind of the reinforcement that creates us to keep putting things at a wayside because we're not running into not being able to bring in $1.
Right. And yeah, there's a negative reinforcement, and it depends on who you are. And I would say to keep asking yourself, is that really what you want your life to look like? Is that really it? Because I promise you the answer is probably no. You probably started real estate investing because everyone, shiny object, oh my God, you can make a lot of money, which is true. Those of you who are dedicated are doing it. And the issue becomes is you probably wanted to make a lot of money, not because you wanted to make a lot of money, because it buys you time, it buys you things, it buys you experiences. And that's what you wanted. You wanted the time and experiences with your friends and family or whatever it is you're doing, right? Maybe you wanted to have a horse farm. Well, you can't do that if you're chasing a deal and kind of going roller coastery, right? Like you can't. And so, yeah, like I get it. But if you step back and think about what the greater vision looks like, maybe you wanted to give a lot of money to charity. Maybe you're still giving 10, 20%, but you could do better, right? And so I would look at it like that and try and talk myself out of it, because you also get addicted. Remember, you get addicted to the emotional energy of it, the high of closing a deal, the action of chasing it, even the, oh my God, I might lose it. That whole thing is an addictive. Yeah. Even when you get angry at your kids or something, if you consistently get angry at your kids, think about it. Sometimes you're tired, but when you get angry, you're not tired anymore. Well, you just use that emotion to create an energy in your body to remedy your own problem. Now, it also created another one, but see what I'm saying? So there's a very easy addiction that goes on, especially like this. It's like Wall Street, right? You're chasing the high also. So just be aware of that.
What about that person that's listening and saying, well, I don't have that problem. I'm just getting started. I'm working on my first couple leads. I'll start worrying about brain dumping and worrying about the finite details of how to create a system once I get, 20, 30 opportunities on my desk.
So I would say talk to Elon Musk, talk to any of the greats. If they could tell you they could go back and figure it out differently and start right the first time, even Damon would tell you. Like if he could have done it right the first time, he would have not lost $30 million. If you don't, because here's the thing, you're not going to do it. If you think you're going to put it off later, you're never really going to do it. And then you think you're going to hire the people that can help you. But the problem is you don't have the systems and knowledge and understanding in place to then hire the right people. So then you're going to hire all the wrong people, get pissed, lose money, and really solved it from the beginning. Like, why would you build a skyscraper on a foundation for a single family? It's not going to last. It's not going to work. It's your business. It's your life. Are you building out? What's the foundation? If you start out right, then it's a habit you've now built for the next 20 years and you kick ass and you win. If it's not, you're going to go 5 years, make some money, be all screwed up, hire people like me, so I can't really argue, to come in and fix it, right?
I agree. I talk to new investors who are like at a point where they don't think they need any systems or a CRM, or something to kind of track what they're doing. And I tell them, even if it's just you, create a system of how you're going to handle each detail, right? That way, when you start getting 2 or 3 deals a month, believe me, it happens quick. You don't have time to stop and go back and create it then, So, and that also teaches you how to work every system in your own company, so you can, then tell others how to do it.
Right, and your system doesn't have to be right. It doesn't have to be the best. You can use all this free stuff. HubSpot's free, Zoho's free. There's a lot of CRMs that are straight up free. So utilize them. Even if you change when you finally have money, that's fine. But you need that there because very quickly when you start, getting some consistency going, you're going to be dropping the ball left and right. I'm even facing it right now in this event business. Jacob and I threw it together in basically 4 weeks time, and one day I just sat down and did the whole CRM, and he was just like, I can't right now because I'm not going to get the thing done. And I said, okay, but we are not moving on to the next one until it's done. So there's always a moment for that, right? And that was on me because I know better, right? But I didn't do better. We're all imperfect humans, right? But I was like, okay, and I hear you, Jacob. Like you can't learn an entire system right now because right now you're focused on something else. I got you. Do your thing, but don't think you're moving forward without it because we're already dropping the ball. Like if you saw some of the, we already have so much ridiculousness between our ad team guys, our affiliate marketers, all that. We're like, what the, and me, I'm sitting here going, damn it, it's all my fault. If I had just not hit the ground running for 2 days, we would be fine right now, right? Like I know better. And I was like, yeah, okay, great. Nothing I could do now.
And we appreciate the fact that you've taken time to come on the show because I know you're busy promoting this event. And if we can close out with you giving us the inside scoop of how did you even get Mr. Shartak himself, Mr. Fubu, to grace the stage?
Yeah, he did me a solid. And so did David Meltzer. Guys, David Meltzer, let me tell you.
Show me the money.
Yeah, most of us don't know who he is because he's so beyond us, dude. Like, oh yeah, my friend wanted me to meet him. I didn't know who he was at first. Just like a year ago, right? And he's leaving breakfast with Randy Zuckerberg to come meet me and a whole bunch of other people. I'm like, oh, I should have Googled you. I was like, damn, okay. And then I did. I was like Googling later while we were like in the meeting. I'm like, oh, I'm like an idiot, right? Like I should know better. But yeah, I mean, listen, networking, and this is why you guys should go to this event. Okay. Not only does it pay for itself with 1,000 free leads, the business coaching, all the information you're getting, but guys, this is how you network. So you guys should be sitting at every live, whether it kills you or not, even if it's only partial, and getting your golden nuggets and then reaching out to people like Jury. Like, oh my God, Jury, you said this. This is so amazing. Like this changed my life or whatever. Like, honestly, like whatever he's saying, right? And give him a reason to want to know you, right? You don't know what that looks like a month from now. If you're doing a deal and you have some terms things and you happen to already be talking to Jury, like, of course he's going to help you, right? I mean, like, that's how people are. We're all human. And if you've already like connected with us, we're going to help you. You're like our friends. You're in our circle, right? That's how Damon and I are in the circle together. First of all, I am friends with the man that helped him build his $6 billion business. That doesn't hurt. My marketing team is actually a team that also ran an ad campaign for him that he adores. So that didn't hurt. Then I also did some work with him on his latest book, Power Shift. So in promoting and selling that for him, unpaid, because I just adore the man. And so I had a lot of different avenues to be able to call in a favor, right? When I'm trying to find business moguls to come in to talk to real estate people, no offense, they don't know. Damon's not an investor like you guys are investors. You know what I mean? He's done his thing, but he's not like, he was over it. Like he was like, oh, like a lot of, it wasn't his thing. So it's so funny. So like, he's coming in talking business, David Meltzer, same thing. David Meltzer is freaking coming in on his family vacation. So he finally decided on a vacation. And when I switched the dates, he was like, oh, but he's still teleporting in live. Right. So, I mean, when you build your network, right, and you have people that you care about and you have done things for them because you care, not because you're going to go use them 10 months later, because you actually want to do something for them, they're going to be in your corner. They're going to help you out, and that's how you get to know them. Like, what can you do for Jury? And sometimes you sit there and you think nothing, but you don't know that. You don't know that.
I think that was a nice gem you dropped, how the new networking, the new is going on lives, and taking notes and reaching out to people and also talking to people on lives. I still go on people's lives right now and talk to people in the comments who might have a deal somewhere that I'm like, hey, I might have somebody for that deal, or they might be in a location where I might have a deal for them, So that's kind of our new norm, right? It's like you can sit at your computer, hop on live, and network all across the world.
Yeah, I love comments for that reason. Like I've been pushing for online everything. Like when I built my legal recruiting business, totally virtual. Everybody thought it was nuts. Everybody thought it would fail. Didn't. Right. And so I'm so happy because this is going to help my coaching business because I don't have to run around Manhattan.
The beautiful part is the event is this weekend. We're giving you guys a reason to slide in our DMs, to comment and reach out to us. If you guys want the link to this event, if you guys want to see Kirsten, J Money, Mr. Shark Tank himself, Mr. Jerry Maguire's motivation.
Steve Train's there. Steve Train, Daniel Chad Moore. A lot of good people going to be there.
That is a big hitting lineup. You could watch it in your underwear at home and networking in the comments section, guys. This is it. We wanted to thank you personally, Miss Kirsten, for coming on, letting us know, reaching out, making us a part of this. And if you guys didn't learn something today, I don't know where you were. This weekend is going to be a whole lot more of it.
Kirsten, where can they follow you at? Where can they see you at on social media?
Just Kirsten Franklin. I have the group Thrive Tribe Global, so just search groups Thrive Tribe Global. Yeah.
We got some feedback there. A little conspiracy theory.
The name of your podcast?
Girl on Fire.
Girl on Fire. Okay. Where can we find that?
On Believe.com, and anywhere actually, iTunes, Stitcher, all of it.
Who's it?
Me and Kevin got to meet Kirsten last August. We actually had her on before. If you missed that episode, go follow it. She dropped a lot of hacks on like VAs running your business. You know, she's a good friend to have. We just want to have you come on here. We thank you for that today.
Yeah, Jay, when we finish this, when the YouTube stays live, let's post a link to the previous podcast. That way they can hear. We were talking all about virtual assistants on that one. All right, guys, this is another show. That's a wrap. People are asking already where they can find
the link in the Facebook group right now.
We are going to be posting it in the Facebook group. Shut Up and Invest. We will post it in the comment section on YouTube. And you can slide up in the DMs. Jay's wife loves it when you guys slide in the DMs. And we are out, guys.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you.
No problem. All right.